So I got a question from Thomas, and Thomas asks, in the newest episode of the Ifast podcast, you mentioned your daily mobility routine as part of your morning ritual. Can you talk about what you're currently working on in that program and how it has changed over the last 4 years? Well, Thomas, I really appreciate your interest in this, first and foremost, but it is my program and it's all about me. So for me to offer you up what I'm doing probably wouldn't be helpful for anyone else. However, I will offer you this. I have about 30 years of weight training experience at a pretty high level at one point. And so my life revolves around overcoming and reducing compressive strategies every day, all day. And so that's the main gist of the whole thing. Secondarily, I do have hip replacements. And so one of the issues that I'm constantly battling is this left posterior propulsive strategy. So I do a lot of things to overcome that as well. So rather than walk you through my morning routine, which would probably be useless for most people, let's go over 3 strategies that you can use to overcome this left posterior propulsive strategy. So one of the things that I use regularly is a supine right propulsive activity. So by creating the right propulsive strategy, I actually reduce the left propulsive strategy. So I create a left anterior compression, which allows a left posterior expansion. Because I'm a wide ISA, I always start in the supine position because this allows me to improve the uniform descension of the diaphragm and overcome the wide ISA compensatory inhalation strategy. Once I do that, I'll flip myself over into the prone position and perform a very similar right propulsive strategy. The emphasis here is to get me deeper into left hip flexion, which gets me into earlier propulsion on the left side. It also allows me to expand the left posterior lower rib cage. Doing this also helps me improve my left shoulder overhead reach, in addition to allowing me to capture this left early propulsive strategy on the left. Finally, what I'll do is I'll reinforce this in the gym using a variation of a supine arm bar that looks a lot like the supine right propulsive strategy. I'll superimpose some shoulder internal and external rotation coordinated with my inhalation and exhalations, which allows me to recapture some shoulder internal and external rotation that I've lost over 30 years of heavy strength training. So Thomas, I do appreciate the question a great deal. I just don't think that the extent of my program is going to be very interesting for everyone, but this does give you an idea of how you might overcome one of these compensatory strategies that is quite common. If you have any other questions about any of the other compensatory strategies, please feel free to ask away and we'll answer those as best we can.